first question I was asked to answer is, who or what inspired me to do the work I do? I grew up in the 1960s. There was no question there were many inspirational and important people during that era. But I can't think of any single person who sort of spurred me to do the work I was doing. I was more just driven by somewhere along the way and believing in some notion that it made no sense in a country as rich and wealthy as the United States that people should go at night without shelter or be hungry or not be able to obtain the necessary health care. It's more those ideas and those beliefs that have inspired me all these years. The second question I was asked to answer is, what words of wisdom would I give to people who are starting the legal profession now? My first suggestion would be that your first job is something that you go out where you work with people who you respect. These are attorneys and paralegals who you think know what they're doing and can teach you how to be a lawyer. Becoming a better lawyer is actually a lifetime process, but it's particularly important when you first start in the legal profession. My second suggestion would be, how do I say this? What giveth the legislature can taketh away. And what do I mean by that? If you end up doing impact cases, as I have, in a number of areas, you can win a really good, nice, important legal battle, and then the next year or 3 years later, the legislature will cut it back or take it away. So in many of these areas, for example, homelessness, this is not a struggle that's going to go away in one day, 1 year, or with any one particular court victory. This is going to be something we're going to be fighting over for many, many years. And if you're going to do it right, it's not just a legal battle, it's one where you involve the community and you see it as both a legal and a political struggle. The third question I was asked to answer is, if you were going to do it over again, would you do anything differently? My overall answer is no. I've been extremely fortunate in terms of who I represented, in terms of who I worked with, and in terms of what I worked on. What do I mean by that? The clients. The clients I've represented all these years have shown generally incredible courage and strength to stand up. It's not easy to be an undocumented worker in a sweatshop to speak out and bring a lawsuit. It's also not easy to be a Medi-Cal recipient with intense mental health needs to bring a lawsuit and put your issues in a lawsuit and in the paper. The second thing I've been really fortunate is who I work with. Not everyone can say that the people that you are on legal teams with, are smart, caring, hardworking, and good people. I can. The third thing is the issues. Here once again, I got no complaints. I got to work on a number of important issues as far as I'm concerned, in particular health care and public benefits for low-income Californians. My only one regret, if I was to do it over again, in this last 9 months, I started working from home because of the pandemic. And were I to do it all over again, I would have probably worked 1 or 2 days a week from home during the last couple of years of my wife's life, so we could have had more time together.